Hey guys, Adventures Win here. So June is not just Pride Month, but it's also PTSD Awareness Month for post-traumatic stress disorder. It is a debilitating condition, physical, not just mental, and it actually does stake from trauma, and it can be cured, it can be treated, and sometimes it can't. It's very dangerous because it can strike without warning. It is debilitating. I have it myself. I've struggled with it. It's made me depressed. It's made me do things and think about things I never would have done. It made me not motivated to do anything. It's made me not want to eat. It gave me anxiety, stress, and it had a physical toll on me as well, as I know it does with many others. I didn't have therapy until later, and that I did suffer for that, and in some cases I went off the deep end a few times before, in years to come, I made efforts in my life, working hard to actually be able to afford resources to help me. I know many others out there don't, but one thing I wish I knew years ago that helped me a lot was that I realized, or had somebody tell me, that I wasn't alone in this fight, that I could get, I not just help through therapy or spending money, but just that help came in the form of just talking to someone, whether it be a family member or a friend or even a stranger, because I didn't have a lot of important people in my life during that time of my PTSD dark days, as I call them, my depression days. But yeah, now that I've had therapy, and gotten a handle on my PTSD, I've shown that, yeah, just talking does help. It really, really does help. And yeah, there are resources out there that do much better, but just the first step of talking about it, you know, just breaking down and really getting to the raw emotional part that tears at you. It is that this feels like this from like the foundations of your soul, like the very bare raw stuff that just tears at you, that's just burned into your soul, that you can't that you can't forget, or things that are just so painful. Just talking about these things with somebody, even if you're breaking down crying, it just have somebody there that can listen and hug you or understand is incredibly, overwhelmingly important to PTSD's recovery, or even just the first step towards recovery. And I wish I had that when I had it. I didn't. I had to fight the battle all alone, but not everyone else has to. And that, talk with somebody. Maybe it's your sister, your brother, your uncle, your aunt, your mother, your father, girlfriend, your best friend, or even a complete stranger, or maybe a therapist. It doesn't matter. As long as you start talking about it, you can be on the road to treatments and recovery from it. Or if it can't be cured, it doesn't matter if it can't be cured. At least you can control it and be successful in having a handle on it, so that it doesn't interfere with your life and things that you want to do. And yeah, PTSD can be terrifying, and it can literally be like a bomb going off in your brain, where like 1 minute you're fine driving down the road, and then the next you're just all of a sudden experiencing that, whatever it was. It could be a battlefield. It could be a traumatic experience, like an accident or whatever. And it not only paralyzes you, but it can be dangerous in that instance. And that's actually happened to me. I've been driving down the road sometimes, and it just suddenly hit me, and I nearly had an accident once or twice. Like once with a tree, I almost went off the road. Another one, I did not notice that the car in front of me had its brake lights on, and I nearly hit them because I didn't stop. And it just happens like that sometimes. PTSD can just really paralyze you, and it's like a time trap. It's like a time machine. It just randomly takes you back to your worst day that you can possibly imagine, and there's just nothing stopping it. And the thing is, from my experience, all I could do when I'm in those moments is just ride it out and hope that I came back from it. And then the aftermath, I was anxious, I was edgy, I was prickly, I was stressed. I'd have sweats, I'd have a headache maybe. It depended. Like sometimes I got really bad headaches. Sometimes I couldn't do my work. I would have to call out from work. And other things is I got into substances. I would drink a lot, especially after an episode that hit me. I was a very big smoker. I smoked like 2 packs a day sometimes. When a really bad episode of PTSD hit me, I actually smoked somewhere between 3 and 4 packs of cigarettes a day. And that wasn't just for that day, for that episode after it happened. Like that would go on for at least maybe a week or two until I got a grasp on a hold of myself to at least function again. And it seemed like nothing helped, and I felt miserable. Sometimes I didn't even want to get out of bed in the aftermath because I was just terrified of things that had already happened that were just too painful to get over. And I couldn't sleep because I feared if I dreamed that I would see that again, and sometimes it prevented me from sleeping. Sometimes it even happened when I was sleeping. That's the thing that people don't understand also, I don't think, is that fact that PTSD really can hit you anytime if you have it. If you have it severe enough, you can be asleep and it can trigger. You can be awake randomly and it'll trigger. It doesn't have a schedule. And I really want to make awareness of this. I don't think people give it enough attention. There's many things out there that need attention, but I think PTSD is a big one because with our rising society getting higher and higher on the stress levels and higher and higher towards the inevitability for trauma. Trauma is going to increase with stress levels because with our rising work schedules, something bad's going to happen, and it's causational. Like if someone could be working really, really hard and then get stressed out, and maybe they have PTSD, maybe they don't, or either they had a bad episode or they did, or it was just too much for them for that work week or whatever, and they did the unthinkable, and then the person that they're close to is now traumatized and will have PTSD, and the cycle spreads, and like the suffering spreads, and it's very important to, I think, that people are aware of just how hard it can be. Like, I like when I have an episode I can't eat, it's hard for me to sleep. Sometimes I call out of work, and I'm not motivated to do anything. I can't write. I don't want to watch TV. I just want to lie on the floor half the time and just suffer. But just know that out there, to those who have PTSD, there are many options. If you're, if there's many options that are available to you that can help, or at least get you on the first steps towards help. Please talk to somebody about it. It really is the first step, and maybe that makes all the difference, is just talking about your traumatic experiences. Um, Maybe that's all you need, is just someone to talk to. If you really need, more help, then, therapy is an option. There's different types of therapy. Like, so I had two types of therapy, and I'm not endorsed or advertising anything. I'm just saying these are the options that I used. But so I had two, I did two things. So one was outdoor therapy, where I actually would talk with a therapist outside, on a chair outside, with blue sky, with a water fountain and grass and butterflies and everything around me. And then the other one I did was BetterHelp. And, the thing about that is it let me customize and choose the type of therapist that I wanted to talk to and how I wanted to talk to them. Like, I could FaceTime, text, call, whatever. Like, there's lots out there that are like that. It's just the ones that I used, and they suggested things that, and gave me steps towards controlling it and overcoming it. I've still got PTSD, but I at least have better control over it now. I do have an episode once in a blue moon, but I know at least now how to handle myself and control the outcome, and how to at least bring myself back, pull myself out of that dark hole when that happens. And yeah, it's. I just hope others out there who are suffering from PTSD know that they're not alone, and that they don't have to fight it alone, and that there is hope, and that there is help out there, that they can, recover, and that they can have normal, lives that are within their control, and that, anything is possible, as long as we choose to help each other. Anyways, just wanted to share that and raise awareness for it, because I think PTSD is vastly underestimated and underappreciated. I don't know if underappreciated is the word, but it's undershared, under made awareness of, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, please spread the word. And if this video finds you, from me to you, just know that you've got options. You do have options. It's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the line. You're not alone, in that you do have many options for you, and that there is hope for recovery. I think that's all I had to say, but like, share, subscribe. Certainly share this video if you know someone. Maybe it'll help. I hope it helps. I really do hope it helps anyone who watches this video. I really do hope it helps. And subscribe if you've enjoyed, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Thanks so much.